Hey everybody, it's Silver Seeker and welcome back to the channel. If you watch this channel regularly or if you just follow the silver market, you probably know that the premiums on silver have been going up quite a bit. Not just a little, but quite a bit. Not just silver eagles, but even generic buffaloes have been going up. And so a lot of people that want to continue to stack silver, but they don't want to pay these crazy premiums, are looking at things like kilogram silver bars and 100-ounce silver bars because these tend to have lower premiums. In other words, you pay less over spot for kilograms and 100 ounces than you do for generic 1-ounce rounds or 10-ounce bars. And so what I want to do in today's video is see if we needed to resell our kilogram silver bars or our 100-ounce silver bars to a coin shop because we didn't want to sell it ourselves or we didn't have time to sell it ourselves. Would we get the same or would we get less per ounce than the 10-ouncers and 1-ouncers? So that's what we're going to do in today's video. We're going to get on the phone and we're going to call a bunch of different coin shops around the US. And we're going to ask them how much they are paying for 1-ounce rounds, for kilogram bars, and 100-ounce silver bars. And we're going to take a look. We're going to put that data on the screen so that you guys can be educated and know what you might expect to get if you have to sell your big silver bars to a coin shop. So there you go, guys. That's what we're going to do. But really quick, before we make the calls, if you are new here, do me a favor. Don't forget to go down below. Make sure you are subscribed. It really helps the channel out, and I appreciate it. Don't forget to hit that like to help YouTube recommend this video to others. And let's start making some calls. Okay, we have our first coin shop queued up for this video. Again, we're going to be asking about big silver bars. What will they pay? But really quick, just so you guys know, if you're new to this video series, down below is the current live spot prices. That is live as of the time of recording so that we can determine what the premium is. If they give us a raw number, for example, let's say they say 270, we'll know that that's about $1.80 over spot. As far as the voices are concerned, even though it is legal for me to call and record in one-party consent states, which I only pick, I will not go to two-party consent, I still mask their voice and I bleep out the name of the shop because, again, this is not to call out shops that don't pay as strong. We don't know their situation. We just want to get the real world data to help you be educated when you go out so you can make the best decision for you. So let's go ahead and get shop number one on the phone and see what they have to say if they will buy our big silver bars.
Hello?
I'm sorry. I thought this was a... Did I call the wrong number?
Yeah, what can I do for you?
Sorry, I was confused. Actually, I was hoping you could answer some general questions for me. I don't necessarily want to do anything right now, but I have a friend who's wanting to sell me some big silver bars, and they're less than silver rounds. But if I were to have to sell those, would you guys buy them? And then, if so, what would you pay for them? And we're talking like 100-ounce bars and kilo bars.
Yeah, we do. You know, a lot of people are always concerned that, you know, oh, the bigger bars are harder to sell. You know, they're really not. In fact, the market's been so strong lately that I've been selling 100-ounce bars for as much as like $4 over spot, which is really strong. You know,
yeah.
Really expensive.
That's actually...
So, I mean...
Wow.
So, to me, I mean, if you can buy them at like spot or like spot plus $1 or something like that, I mean, that'd be a good deal for you. There are companies out there that you could probably acquire them yourself for spot plus 250 or something like that.
Okay. But if I bought
I don't know what your buddy's charging or whatever, but as long as it's like less than $2 over, it's probably a fair deal. Awesome.
Now, let's say I were to bring those into you and you buy them, what would you pay for something like that? Like what kind of, range am I looking at? I'm not going to hold you to it, and I know it will change day to day.
No.
Yeah.
I understand. Like I say, it really just varies. Right now, the market is such that I would pay over.
Mm-hmm.
But like in a general market, like in a stable market, I would just pay spot for that. And like years ago, we used to buy those for even less than spot, 50 cents under or something.
Gotcha.
But in this market, I'd buy them for spot. In fact, the ones I sold for $4 over, I purchased for like $2.75 over or something. You know what I mean? Like,
okay.
But those were Royal Canadian Mint bars, and they're desirable bars. I mean, you know, there's little things, there are little nuances and stuff, but
okay.
So I mean, I think just be sure they look nice and they're like retail friendly and stuff. Because sometimes when they're all beat up, I don't like to pay strong for them. But
okay, that totally makes sense. I appreciate the insight. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem at all. Thanks for the call.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so shop number one didn't actually give us any raw numbers. The way that the conversation started got us a little off course because instead of answering with the name of the shop, he just answered with hello. So I was thrown off. I'm like, did I actually call the shop? But like he said, in this market, he's paying spot or above spot, whereas in previous markets, they were actually buying back of spot. And then he suggested to me, again, I didn't quite ask it the way I wanted to just because of the way the call was answered. But he said, as long as I'm buying those bars, $1.50 over, as long as they're nice, if they're retail friendly, like he said, then that's a really good deal. And he even said that those ones that he sold for $4, he actually paid $2.75 over for, but they were RCM bars. So that actually is something to keep in mind. Even with 100-ounce bars, there are ones that carry a little bit stronger of a premium. For example, RCM, which by the way stands for Royal Canadian Mint, they do make really nice 100-ounce bars that are serialized. So I imagine you can get a little bit more for those. So not necessarily the raw numbers we were looking for. We'll try and get those out of the next shop, but it was still very insightful. And thank you so much to him for taking my call and answering the questions. All right, so here we go. Let's get shop number 2 on the phone and see what they have to say. Hi, I just have a general question. If you're not too busy, could you answer for me?
I can surely try.
Awesome, thank you. So I'm thinking about, I don't want to do it yet, so I'm not making a decision today, but I'm thinking about selling some larger bars that I have, let's say 100-ounce in kilos. What would you guys pay for those today? I'm not going to hold you to it, and I know things will change, but if I were to walk through the door with them right now, could you tell me what you would pay?
Are they silver?
Yeah, of course. I'm sorry. Yes, 100-ounce silver bars and kilogram silver bars, which are 32
100-ounce
ounces.
silver bars and kilo silver bars?
Mm-hmm.
Let me just see what that runs. Hold on.
Okay.
The kilo would be right around 800.
Okay.
And the 100-ounce bar would be around 24.50.
Okay, so the kilo, that would be at spot, and then like the 100-ounce bar about 50 cents back. Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right, thank you so much. I appreciate you
You're
answering
welcome,
the question.
sir.
Thank you.
Not a problem.
Bye-bye. Okay, so shop number 2, the kilo, they would be buying at spot, so that'd be, $25 an ounce, which was around $800. You could hear in the background saying around $800, so that is totally exactly where that was. And then the 100-ounce bar, they said around $24.50, which is around 50 cents back of spot for a 100-ounce bar. So far with shop 1, again, we didn't actually get any raw numbers, but he did say RCMs. He actually paid a couple dollars over. But outside of that, he said in today's market, he'd probably be at spot. But, again, not an exact number. This shop, they were spot at a kilo and then 50 cents back for the 100. So let's get some more shops on the phone and see if we can find someone that's willing to pay over spot for 100-ounce bars. Let's see what we can find. All right, here we go. Let's make a call. Hey, I got a general question. If you're busy, I can call back. I just was hoping you'd answer for me.
What's that?
I have a general question. If you'd be willing to answer it for me. I'm not wanting to do anything today, so I didn't want to bother if you were busy.
No, go ahead. Well, what's the question?
Awesome. I actually have a 100-ounce silver bar and a 1 kilo silver bar. I believe they're Johnson Matthey. And I was thinking about selling them. Again, I'm not going to do it today, but I'm just curious if I were to bring them in today, right now. I know the numbers change, but what would you guys pay for something like that?
Yeah, right now you'd be looking at $25.
Okay. Per ounce, I assume.
Correct.
Right. So if I wanted to sell instead of those, let's just say generics, silver rounds, would that be better to bring them in? Do you guys pay more for that, or is it the same no matter what?
It doesn't matter. They're all relative. You paid the same. If you bought the 100-ounce bar, you paid less for it.
Right.
So it's up to you. I don't know what you want to hang on to, but
no, I understand. I was just trying to get to make a decision.
Rounds are more, yeah.
Yeah,
no, they've
okay.
always been more. Sure.
Okay, all right. I thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
All right.
All right, bye.
Okay, bye.
Okay, so that guy, I felt like I got off of there. I didn't push any harder. I felt like I was maybe bothering him, even though at the beginning I did ask, if you're busy, I can call back. I just wanted to ask a general question. But he's like, rounds have always been more. Yeah, but he was kind of all over the place he's like, I don't know what you want to do. I'm like, all right, well, and I'm starting to think that maybe I'm wording this question wrong. So we are definitely going to get some more shops and try and get some. I'm just going to ask directly instead of saying, hey, this is the scenario. I'm just going to be like, look, I have some 100-ounce bars, kilo bars I'm thinking about selling. What would you pay? We're not going to try and be nice and beat around the bush because I don't want to bother these guys. It felt like he was a little bit more frustrated. It sounded to me like he thought that I didn't really know what I wanted to do, and that's not what I'm trying to portray. So let's get our fourth shop on the phone and see what they will pay. We'll just ask straight out, what are you paying for 100-ounce bars, kilo bars, if I brought them in today? All right, let's do it. Hey, I got a question. I have some silver I'm looking to sell. I have some bigger bars and some smaller stuff. And if I were to bring it in, say, today, would you pay more for the big stuff or the small stuff? Or could you tell me, like, I have a 100-ounce bar, I have a couple of kilo bars, and then I have some generic, like the Buffalo rounds.
Let me let the owner talk to you just a second. He's tied up with the customer. So
I tell you what, I'll just call back when he's not busy. I don't want to bother him.
No, well, the problem is we don't know when that is. So just hang fast. I'll tell him to answer the phone, okay?
Okay.
Hello. What can I help you with on that?
Yeah, I just had a general question. I wasn't trying to bother you, but he said I should hold anyway. I was thinking about selling some silver. I have a couple 100-ounce bars, a couple of kilo bars, and then 1-ounce rounds. And I know you can't give me an exact number because I have to come in, you have to see them, but roughly, if I were to come through, could you tell me what you'd pay for stuff like that?
So at the moment, the 1-ounce medallions or bars, 1-ounce anything that's hallmarked, not poured,
right,
is going to be roughly about 25 right now.
Okay.
Spots like 24.92.
Okay.
So anyway, close to 95.
Right.
Or around 25.
Right.
Okay.
And then
That's that material.
Right.
And then the bars, it's going to greatly depend on what you have in front of me.
Okay, that's
On
fine.
those
I mean, I
bars.
could.
They
The name brand
they
is
could be
Johnson
as-
Matthey. I don't know if that matters.
Are they poured? Does it look like a big Twinkie?
It looks like a big Twinkie.
Yeah. Then that stuff's usually somewhere around 23-ish at the most.
Okay. All right. That helps me decide what I want to do. Thank you so much.
Yeah. You bet.
All right,
Okay.
bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, so that shop was actually only paying spot for generic rounds, which is a little low in today's market, and they were actually paying. So I said it looked like a big Twinkie, which is it's a poured bar. I mean, it's a cast bar, if you will. You know, the one I was talking about, the kilo. So the 100-ounce bar we'll assume is the same, and like he said, those would be closer to 23. So it sounds like he's actually paying less for poured bars than he would for like pressed bars, for example, in Engelhard. And that is one of the things I was worried about going into calls like this, is when you think about, like, there are a lot of different 100-ounce bars. There's cast bars, there's poured bars, there's pressed bars like the Engelhards. Engelhards are usually more desirable, things like that. So that is going to actually play a difference into what they're paying as well. So something to keep in mind. And it sounds like, at least with that guy, the poured silver, which is a video I want to do in the future, calling around seeing what shops would pay for like locally poured silver. But it sounds like he pays less for that. So that was at least some raw numbers. Maybe not necessarily what we were looking for, but I appreciate the insight. Let's get another shop on the phone and see what they have to say. Hey, if you're not too busy, could you just tell me really quick what you guys are paying right now? I know the numbers change for like 100-ounce bars and kilo bars.
Kilo bars, I'd be paying $24.98 an ounce.
Okay.
100-ounce bars, I'm buying them for $25.78.
Okay, and then what about generic 1-ounce rounds if I wanted to sell those instead?
$26.38.
$26.38. So you pay less for kilos than 100-ounce bars? Is that right?
Yes.
Oh, gotcha.
Yes.
Okay. All right, thank you. That answers my question. I appreciate it.
Bye.
Okay, that was very quick to the point. I got the data. I like that call. They actually pay less per ounce for kilos than 100-ounce bars, and they pay more for silver rounds, which, as you can see, was a little over $1 over spot, I believe. I have to do the number. You guys will see the numbers up on the screen. Right now, I just see a blank screen there, and I actually populate that data as I'm editing. But yeah, that sounded pretty strong there. So they were paying over spot for rounds, over spot even for 100-ounce bars, but back of spot for kilos. He sounded busy, so I didn't want to, keep him on the phone and ask him why, but I assume that it's probably a demand thing. There's probably a higher demand for 100-ounce bars than there are kilo silver bars. All right. So that is good data, but we have more shops to call. Let's get a sixth shop on the phone and see what they have to say.
Hello, this is.
Hey, is this?
It is.
Okay. Sorry. I just want to make sure I didn't just call a random person. I'm thinking about it. I'm not going to do it today, but if I were to walk through your shop today, I have a 100-ounce bar and a kilo bar and then some generic rounds. What would you pay for those?
So
in a second here.
Yeah, sorry.
So you've got some. How many rounds do you have?
I have 2 tubes, which I believe is 40 ounces.
Okay, good. And then those I'd pay $1 over spot.
Okay. And then I have a kilo bar that's Johnson Matthey.
Okay.
And then
I'd pay spot.
that you pay spot. And then I have a 100-ounce bar. I don't recognize the mark on it, but it looks like a pressed bar.
Okay, those I'd go $1 under.
$1 under. Okay.
100-ounce bars, but yeah, there's just no liquidity with them.
That makes total sense. So so $1 over for if I brought rounds, spot for the kilo, and then $1 under for the 100. All right, I wrote that down. That really helps me. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right, bye-bye. Okay, so that was the opposite of the last shop that we called, because they actually paid more for kilos than they would 100-ounce bars, and they said there was less liquidity with the 100-ounce bars than there is the kilos. And then they pay $1 over spot for the rounds, which is $26.17. As you can see, spot is live down there at the bottom. So not bad on that one either. $1 back for a 100-ounce bar. I didn't want to give them a maker mark on that one. I did give a maker mark for Johnson Matthey for the kilo, but that's because I actually have a Johnson Matthey kilo in my hand, whereas I don't have a 100-ounce bar in front of me as well. So, all right, so that is not bad though. Let's see if we can get one more shop on the phone and get some raw data, and then we will do a wrap up. Here we go. Hey, I don't want to bother you too long. Could you just really quickly tell me, right now, obviously the numbers change, but what you would pay for 100-ounce silver bars and kilo silver bars?
So right now I'd pay $2,600 on a 100-ounce bar.
Okay.
On a kilo bar, roughly, and again these numbers change.
Right, I know.
About $835.
About $835. And then what about 1-ounce rounds? If I wanted to bring those instead.
1-ounce rounds depends on how nice they are. Are they new production type rounds?
Yeah, they're just like the tubes
or
of
are they just kind of older?
They're tubes of the fresh buffaloes.
Yeah, they're like fresh buffaloes. I'd pay $2 over spot, 27 a coin.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Okay, I like that call as well. So $2 over spot for fresh buffaloes, and I literally already got what he forgot. Oh, he said $825, I think, for kilos. I'll have to watch this back. I'll put the numbers up on the screen. But either way, he was offering really good money for all three across the board on that one as well. So that shop there was also paying pretty well, but again, paying less for 100 ounce and kilos than he would for just 1 ounce fresh buffalo rounds, which is what I told him I had. So there we go, guys. That is the data that we have for you. I hope that kind of opened your eyes as to what's going on. Obviously, most shops will want to pay more for rounds than they will for bigger bars like the kilos and the 100-ounce bars. So when you're buying the bigger bars, it's great that you can get the lower premium, but keep in mind, if you have to sell them to a coin shop, and honestly, even if you sell them yourself, you're probably going to get a little bit less than if you just had 1 ounce rounds. Now, in the beginning of this video, I was trying to be more like, I don't want to do it right now, but I'm thinking about bringing it in. And I think it really confused the shop owner. So if you noticed, as we went through the shops, I just started being much more precise with the questions that I was asking. And as you can see, I got much more precise answers. So honestly, with these coin shops, especially when they're busy, sometimes it's better than wasting their time and saying, hey, I hope you're not busy. I just have a couple of questions. Can you answer them for me? Just ask the question, get them on and off the phone. They don't want to be on the phone very long, especially if they're really busy. So just being like, hey, I have some 100-ounce bars. What are you paying? Hey, I have some kilos. What are you paying? Hey, I have some rounds. What are you paying? You get them on and off the phone really quick, and then you're done. And you don't take too much of their time. And that's questions that they answer all day anyway. So, they're used to that. And, that's data they want to share because they do want you to come in and, buy and sell from them. So there you go, guys. Again, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you did, do me a favor. Don't forget to go down below. Make sure you're subscribed. It really helps me out. And with that said, thank you so much for watching.